can escape from the team called the morning steam. It's time to break one for cover. That's gonna cover, that's gonna cash. Then we make the 100-yard dash to the window. I don't know what you thought. It's Ramon Scott running so hot. Sports make money and we make money with sports money every single day. NFL, NHL, NCAA. Stay away from the juice, we might play a parlay. It's the morning steam. What? Ramon Scott. Sports money. What? Wake your ass up and let's get to the money. Get to the money. You know how we do it.
And a pleasant good morning to you from the sports betting capital of the world, Las Vegas. This is Ramon Scott, and welcome to the Morning Steam Show for Friday, February 28th, last day of the month. And we've got a card tonight, NBA basketball, 3 games on the ice, and a Friday night college slate, including Big Ten featured action here as we get ready for our sports betting weekend, including UFC action this week here from the Apex in Las Vegas. And we've got you covered here on the Sports Money Network with our previews this week, including First Strike up on the video tab right now. You can get the previews for this Saturday's fight card. The guys will be here to give the companion stream on Saturday night from the Apex in Las Vegas with that main event with Manel Kape and Asu Almabayev, and you can get the previews with First Strike. So join the guys. We got Sub, we've got Fanatical Jim, we've got MMA Jeff, and we've got Mikey Money with their 4 best plays with First Strike. And you can also check out under the live tab our preview earlier this week. I was with VB MMA Picks, and we had our preview for Saturday night's card here this week, and you can check it out here on the Sports Money Network and get you ready for the action on Saturday night. But first, we got Friday night action as well. And I just want to add this too. We've got up and loaded here on the Sports Money Network a preview of a National Rugby League from Down Under, except it's not from Down Under this week. It's from right here in Las Vegas. So you can lead up to that UFC. I guess you'll be going simultaneously, but nonetheless, we do have the first 2 matches of the season here in the United States. These are regular season matches involving top teams, and our man Dan Doherty was here with his NRL analyst to give a preview of the 2 big games here in Las Vegas on Saturday evening at 7 Eastern is the first game, 11:30 p.m. Eastern is the second game, and we have full previews of these 2 special games. This is the second year in a row that they've opened the regular season here in Las Vegas. It's a big attraction for rugby fans here in Las Vegas, for sports fans in Las Vegas, and for a lot of people who come from down under. Last season, they put about 35,000 in there. Not quite a full sellout. They announced a sellout. Didn't quite get there, but still plenty of fans in there with the action here. And we do have the action here for Saturday night covered on our videos tab with Dan Doherty and his NRL analyst previewing those games for Round 1 National Rugby League on Saturday here in Las Vegas. It's Warriors and the Raiders in the first game. It's Penrith Panthers and Cronulla Sharks in the second game on Saturday. So check out that video, and you'll have some picks. And you know what we'll do? we're going to preview those games on Saturday as part of our package, and I'll keep everyone informed of those game times so you can preview the games with Dan, get the bets in, and watch the games here. Or we'll be watching UFC too, no doubt about it, at the same time on Saturday night. But that's when those games. Actually, the second game, I think the UFC will be just about over, so you can catch that second game with the Penrith Panthers and the Cronulla Sharks. All right, hope that's cool. We're going to have that coverage all season. The games will be very early in the morning, late at night during the regular season, and we'll have our analysts there previewing those games. So that's a really cool feature here on the Sports Money Network. All right, let me say hello to some folks and see how you guys did on Thursday. I'm trying to fix this college basketball, but, oh, man, I know I owe it to the subscribers to get some better picks right now, but on the show, we had some incredible results yesterday. Now, I was just off the cuff. I think I was on tilt because I haven't had the best basketball week, probably the biggest tailspin of the season, a good season, I think. But what we did yesterday was on the show. I was on tilt a little bit, so I was giving out sides and totals for 5 different games. 5 games, I gave out the side and the total in college basketball yesterday. We hit 4 of those 2-team parlays, or I don't know what else you want to call them. We're calling them double dippers around here. Dip your chicken or your celery sticks, they told me. But we hit 4 of them last night, so hopefully you were on board with me trying to reel things in a little bit. Maybe I need to try to figure out what are the best plays, because these were the best plays. How about it? North Texas and FAU, we had side and total here on the show yesterday. I said, take North Texas and the under. That's what came home. I did it again in Jacksonville State and Liberty. I said, take Jacksonville State and the under. That one came through again. I think Mikey Money was on Keith was last night. I want to thank the guys for having me along. We had a cool Thursday night stream with the featured game in the NBA. Also, though, I had Chattanooga and the under against Greensboro. We had the double dipper win there. And we had another one on the extra board with Lowell and Bryant. We had Lowell over Bryant, and we had the game to go under. So right here on the show yesterday, we had 4 of these double dipper wins on the show. We also had a few other winners yesterday on the show, including UAB and Wichita game to go under. And also we did find a couple of premium pick winners in there, including Northern Kentucky and Indiana Purdue Fort Wayne game to go over. And we had a winner with Idaho State in that rivalry game with Idaho. We said, look, Idaho State dominates this series, take them over Idaho. But other than that, not great results in the premium. So I'm going to tack on another day. But thank you again to the supporters here. I told you I'd still show up. But we did have some winners yesterday with some of the other sports as well, with the NBA and NHL. NBA, we had premium pick winner with the Milwaukee Bucks yesterday against the Nuggets for our featured coverage. Thanks again to the guys for coming by yesterday and running a stream with us on Thursday. I was with Mike and Jeff and Keith each and every stride yesterday for that coverage here on the Sports Money Network. We also were coming with some pretty good hockey selections yesterday here on the show. We had the Tampa Bay Lightning on the puck line yesterday here on the show. We had the San Jose Sharks yesterday here on the show. We also had the Sabres and the Hurricanes game to go over here on the show yesterday. We had the Oilers and the Panthers game to go over as well. And we had the Anaheim Ducks here on the show beating Vancouver. Also, premium pick winners yesterday in the NHL included Columbus and Detroit. Yeah, that one went over for sure. Also, premium pick winner here yesterday with the, make sure I got this one right, Pittsburgh and Philadelphia. Oh, I missed one there. We had the pick on the show yesterday, Philadelphia and Pittsburgh to go over yesterday on the show. I think that's what it was. And we had Pittsburgh as a premium. Okay, got it. And we had the Florida Panthers yesterday as a premium pick winner, as well as the Vegas Golden Knights on the puck line yesterday. So we did come through with a few wins there yesterday, and we'll have premium picks today. You can pick up my premium picks here, my sports money premiums here on Winnable. Go over to winnable.com/Ramon and get these extra plays from me, extra content. This is how you support me here on the show by subscribing to my picks. Over at winnable.com, I'm going to hopefully give you some free winners in just a moment. I'm going to say hello to everybody in the chat, and then we're going to get started with the show. But I do have some extra winners here on Friday if you're interested, especially in college basketball and NBA. As we get ready for that action over the weekend as well, I'll have my UFC plays over there as well at winnable.com. So please join me over there. I also have some free subscription plays on Winnable, and I will have some plays there today, including college baseball today. So check me out over at winnable.com. Okay. Thanks a lot for checking that out. Uh-oh. I'm here. I'm trying to. There we go. Okay. I'm back. There we are. All right. There's that address there, right there. Winnable.com/Ramon. And you can save 20% when you use the promo code STEAM at checkout. When you go to the checkout over there, the website here, it looks kind of like this, and you can see there. Oops, I'm going to show it here. There we go. Comes up like this. You'll see me on the screen right there, and then you can scroll down and get the subscriptions. Here's a free subscription. I'll have some college baseball plays there as well, and you subscribe via Apple Pay, Google Pay right there, and we're powered by Stripe. And you'll only be charged if you want to be charged. So don't worry about that. All right. Let me say hello to everyone in the chat and get the show going here. Thanks for everybody for joining me here today. A lot of comments, and I'm ready to go. Who was here first today? It was Thomas Lewis. Thank you for being here, Thomas. And he says, like this video, subscribe to our channel, Sports Money, here on YouTube. Fastest growing sports betting channel on YouTube. Joe W. is here today. Toucan. He's got some Euro baskets action here today. How about it, huh? We got Euro League here for the action on. Is that Saturday's games? Let me see what that is. Was that today? I wasn't quite ready on my Euro baskets coverage here today, but we do have 4 games today, including Olympiacos and Bologna. Let's see what he's got there. Olympiacos first quarter -1.5, and Baskonia in their matchup against Partizan. He says take Baskonia plus the 8 points there against Partizan. There's also some action on the pitch today with Friday fixtures, including in Serie A, Lecce and Fiorentina. In La Liga, Las Palmas takes on Valladolid, and action tonight in the Bundesliga with Bayern Munich taking on Stuttgart. In France, it's Reims versus Monaco.
Critical notice.
So Friday fixtures here today. Also some steam coming in here a little bit to get the show started. Might as well wrap a few plays up here while we're saying hello to everyone. I want to mention this. So last night on the stream, I didn't know what he was asking about, and I should have known better, because Joe T of Sports Money Network said, what is the most interesting game tomorrow on the college basketball card? Not necessarily the best, he said, maybe just the most interesting. Well, I looked at it and I said, you know what? I think the most interesting game is actually Brown at Harvard, because Brown and Harvard on the outside looking in the Ivy League race right now. In the Ivy League, only the top 4 teams make the Ivy League tournament out of the 8 teams. And right now, Brown and Harvard are in 5th and 6th place. So I thought that was kind of interesting because one of those 2 teams could be moving into a tie for 4th place. With the standings the way they are, Yale is taking on today Dartmouth in 2nd place. That's all fine and dandy, but Yale's already clinched the Ivy League, and Dartmouth is 7-4. They're probably going to be, they're playing a 14-game schedule there. This is about game number 12, but Dartmouth probably going to get in as well. But Cornell, Princeton, Brown, Harvard, they're battling it out, and Brown and Harvard, the loser of this game, is definitely done. So what Joe did was he went over to the posts tab, and he's running a poll right now, who you like in the game tonight between Brown and Harvard. You can vote right now with that poll over there on the Sports Money posts tab. And he's also running one for the game between the Denver Nuggets and the Detroit Pistons tonight. Talk about a close game. How about the action in the NBA last night with those Denver Nuggets losing that game to Milwaukee? And then, of course, the other day, Detroit beating the Celtics. Interesting game tonight. All right, Toucan also, he's got some action in NBL tonight. Oh, man, I struck out on my NBL play last night. I did bring home a winner. I'm trying to think now if we were on the show. Maybe I was talking backstage with the guys and I gave out a soccer parlay. Maybe it was on the show yesterday with the A-League there. It was honor of my soccer buddies here in the chat as I gave out a play overnight in A-League soccer, and that one came through with Melbourne City in the under. Nicholas Handy's here today. Robert McCormick, hello. Jermaine is here. I'm blue. Da-do-dee-da-do-die. Kiadra is here today. Thank you. Ziggy's here in the chat. And, Kiadra's got all of, let's see what this is. I think for Kiadra, this might be, are these plays for this week? Is this Saturday's, or is this today's college baseball? I think this might be today's college baseball, I think. Yeah. Come on. LSU, Texas, Georgia. Oh, no, this might be basketball. Did I miss Kiadra's introduction on this one? Because it certainly looks like some good. I think this is baseball, actually. Kiadra will tell me. Let's see who else is here. Ziggy, hello. Says the underdogs are rolling. And, the performance by Curry last night. We can't ignore that. Cannot ignore that today. 56 points. And I don't know what we're going to do with the Golden State Warriors. Do we want to put them in there and say they are a contender? Subhuman here today. Great show last night. Great job. Fernando, hello as well. And College Station's ready. We're getting some pizza today. Super True here. Nice to have Super True in the chat. Thomas is ready to go. So let's go. Let's get that first game. Detroit Pistons money line and under. Joe's on the Cavs today in that big game between the Cavs and the Celtics tonight. We said Nuggets and Pistons, but how about the Cavs and the Celtics? Okay, thanks, Keandra. So, yeah, your college basketball there for tomorrow. But I tell you what, that could have been the college baseball picks for today. I think I got a couple of college baseball picks here I can run on the show today, right now, if I can. I'm going to give them out here. Let me see if I got them just to pass the time. I have today Ohio State in college baseball. Let me see if I can get the right matchup here. Ohio State over Auburn today. We got some day games, so this is at 4 Eastern, 1 Pacific. I like Ohio State plus $1.30 over Auburn, and I also have today LSU in an early start here at 3 p.m. Eastern, noon Pacific. I like LSU right now I'm going to lay 3.5 runs with LSU over Kansas State. If you can get that, otherwise you could get maybe 2.5. It's been a little bit of a move here. LSU's minus 320 on the money line, but LSU ranked second in the country right now, and they are taking on Kansas State. And I like LSU there minus 3.5 over the Wildcats. All right. Let me clean some stuff here. Clean up some stuff here. See if we got a few more to go. And Joe W. Let me see what else. I think we're ready to go on the show here. Oh, Caps, hello. Nice to see you again. Oh, Caps. Action Jackson's got Cubs today in that matchup. I'll have spring training for sure today.
Steam play.
You notice one thing about the spring training picks I give out, it's almost all underdogs, pretty much. Cubs today, they are up against the Texas Rangers, and they're a slight dog. So great job, Action Jackson. Oh, man. I tell you what, Fernando, you get that marble in there. You got to have it. You got to go with the Wagyu every time now. God, where was, and Terrell here, he's talking about, we talked about yesterday the passing of Gene Hackman and the Hoosiers, a great sports movie. All right. I think we can get to the action here right now. We got enough of you in here. We've got 56 of you in here right now. It's good enough to start the show. They were asking me last night, why do you start the show? I said, I got to wait for all my friends to get in there, and how I'm motivated every day to come do the show because of everybody here in the chat and those of you I know watching that don't get a chance to comment but watch every day, because I hear, I see the numbers and it's really nice. And it motivates me to wake up every day at 2:30, 3 in the morning. Tonight, maybe we pulled a few extra minutes here. I was up late last night with the guys and with our shortened card. Maybe I got up at 4 a.m. today. Okay, let's talk some steam here real quick. We've got some moves coming in. Iowa is taking the steam right here to get us started off with their matchup against Northwestern tonight. One of the bigger games here for sure. Iowa was getting 5 points. It's down to 4 here. The steam has come in on the Iowa Hawkeyes on the Big Ten game of the night. Well, that's the game of the night. Pardon me, gang. I might need 1 second to give the old... get the old schnauzer going there. All right. William Dryman, hello. Some more steam just came in here a few minutes ago. And Georgia Southern took the steam here in this one. Georgia Southern was favored by 4.5. Looks like they're up to 5, or maybe even 5.5 here right now. Georgia Southern taking the steam against Georgia State in that big game.
Steam play.
Right now, steaming in here right at this moment.
Steam play.
Davidson taking the steam here on the morning steam. You heard it in the background. And Davidson is taking the steam here right now against Virginia Commonwealth. It's in our previews. Davidson was getting 15, but it's going to be down to 14 or lower here right now. Davidson is taking the steam against VCU. Current line is now 14 here, with that widely reported steam coming in here right now. Also, just moments ago, right before that was Iowa and Northwestern under. The steam came in on the under. So right after the Iowa steam came in, it was under 151.5 just moments ago, and now we're seeing it move here. You can check it out. 150 or so. Let's see. I think we've got the injury information that might have triggered this. It's down to 150 for sure here. I don't know if I quite have. Yes, okay. So here we go. Let's see. Iowa guard Drew Thelwell is probable for the game here tonight, and that's put a little bit of a move on the Hawkeyes. Also, moments ago, another game I think we have previewed here, Marist and Sacred Heart. Steam coming in to the under right now. It already came in on Sacred Heart. Sacred Heart was a pick'em.
Steam play.
Wow, the steam's popping off now. Sacred Heart was a pick'em. Now they're a 1-point favorite, and the total is now 144. Steam to the under also. So Sacred Heart already took the action. They were on the move, and the under in Marist and Sacred Heart. Also, just seconds ago, Manhattan got steamed here in their matchup with Canisius. They were a 5-point favorite. They're up to 6 right now with Manhattan and Canisius. Some books still hanging on to 5.5. They're juicing it up a little bit, but Manhattan just took some widely reported steam. Also, NBA action. Portland and Brooklyn. Steam to the over here in this one with Portland and Brooklyn. Wow. We know Brooklyn's been on a massive under run, but right now this team is coming in on the over. It was 218.5, but we're up to 219.5. 220, 220.5 at some of the Square offshore books right now. So pretty little bit of a move here on the over with Portland and Brooklyn. All right. And right now, more steam coming in. We'll get this show started here, but these games are on the move. This is real actionable betting information coming in right now. Arkansas State is taking the steam in the matchup here tonight with UL Monroe. Arkansas State was a 16.5-point favorite, but right now they are on the move, and Arkansas State is now a 17.5-point favorite right now. This is why we do this, to let you know what's on the move this morning with the earliest line moves. I'm not just making this up for content because I'm ready to start the show, but I want to make sure you know the latest moves. How about Old Dominion and Coastal Carolina? Here's some steam to the under. Or just a few moments ago, the total was 139.5 between Old Dominion and Coastal Carolina, but we're seeing that one move here lower right now with some widely reported steam, and this one is down here right now to 130. 139 could be moving lower here. Old Dominion and Coastal. All right. Also, so finally I got around to this. We mentioned the poll that Joe has offered to see who we want to pick in this near pick'em game between Brown and Harvard. Well, Brown got steamed right when we were coming on the air, and Brown actually moved to the favorite in that game. It's the first game on the board. Brown is a 1.5-point favorite. They were a pick'em. They took the steam in that key Ivy League matchup with Harvard. Also, right when we were coming on the air, the Pelicans and the Suns took the steam to the under here in this one. This is a series that definitely goes over when the Pelicans meet the Suns, but I think the Sharps might be right here. This one was 237. It's all the way down here right now to 233.5. This one's been on the move lower all morning right now with the Pelicans and the Suns. All right. Also, right when we were getting started, let me get to this one right now, steaming here as we speak. Ryder and Merrimack. Steam here to the under in the matchup between Ryder and Merrimack. It was 131.5. We are down to 129 at this point here with Ryder and Merrimack. Call it 128.5. We're going to see some 128s here possibly in that one. All right, is that going to be it? Can I start this show? Oh, the Nuggets and the Pistons. So Nuggets and the Pistons got steam to the under. That was the first one as we were coming on the air. It was 240, and right now the Nuggets and the Pistons 237.5. That's our first game. Let's start the show. Let's start the picks segment. Anyway, let me say hello to a few more in the chat, including our Tomps in the chat and Andrew G. Hello as well. Swaggy McNolegs is here. Nice to have you. William Dryman as well. Billy Mack is here. Thomas says, have a drink. Ziggy likes the over in that Nets game. AOD, hello. And Terrell says we should keep the results of the Steam. Oh, that'd be hard. I can tell you this: the Steam this week is there's so many other sports. Maybe I could whittle it down to the college basketball record this week. 114 wins and 98 losses. That's about a break-even number almost, really, when you think about it. But it's not about always the move being right. It's just the fact that we're giving you the actionable moves so that you can react accordingly. All right, let's get started. So I don't know if this is real news or not, but that's a credible source, and it is a breaking story that Skype will be shutting down on May 5th. I don't know. I don't want to just interrupt the broadcast. I think that's interesting there. Okay. All right, let's get started with the show here. Come on, we got to start. Nuggets and Pistons here tonight, started on the NBA action. This is all of a sudden a big game. Man, the Pistons are for real, or I don't know if they're for real, but this winning streak is for real. Let's face it. It's been great fun for these Pistons and their fans right now. And not only that, I mean, it's propelled them right back into the, playoff hunt, playoff picture, right there. I mean, they're moving up fast right now, are these Pistons, with this wild winning streak. They're going to be tested to the max here tonight, taking on the Denver Nuggets. Now, to be fair, look, hey, the Nuggets did play last night. The Pistons are rested here, so a little bit of an advantage there, too. And the Nuggets ended up losing that game. They were never getting back in it. It felt like last night against the Bucks, it did the job. Look, I was on the Bucks last night. I don't know if we were all on the Bucks last night. I think there was definitely some Nuggets support. So sometimes I get the win there over the guys. But let's take a look at it right now. Detroit has won 8 straight games coming into this one. They're 6-0 against the spread in their last 6 games, 10-2 against the spread in their last 12 games overall. Denver's been looking good, no doubt about it, with a record of 7-3 against the spread in their last 10 games. They've won 18 of their last 24, but lost 2 of their last 3, including the loss to Milwaukee last night, and they lost to the Lakers as well a few nights ago. They did sandwich a win in there against Indiana. Detroit has gone under in 5 of their last 7 games. Denver on the road has gone under in 4 of their last 5 and 5 of their last 6 games on the road. We talked about that widely reported steam that came in on the under in this game. Really knocked it down from, I don't know if it was a head fake or what. I mean, maybe it got up to 238.5 or so. The line service says it got up to 240. I don't know if I buy that. Let me look at the moves here and see what book got to 240. I don't see any book that got to 240 actually in that game. So let me see what you guys have here. Detroit, Denver tonight. Look at Detroit, a 2-point favorite here right now. That's an accurate line on the screen, pretty much. That's almost breaking news. All right, here we go. Swaggy says Skype is, uh, I've had a few Skype calls in my day. All right, Fernando's on the Nuggets here. Thomas says Detroit money line and under. Keandra says Detroit. Ziggy's on Detroit. Man, everybody might be on Detroit. That's when you want to go the other way sometimes. That's what our Tom says. Take Denver. And Keandra said Denver just wants to get back home. There definitely is some, Denver on the road. They're 14-16 against the spread, but 18-12 overall. I don't think there's much wrong with the numbers here. It might not be championship caliber road, but look, we know Denver looks like they can turn it on at any time. They obviously had a massive run of success to put their record among the more elite teams. Where after a while there, they were kind of dwindling in just the good teams category. So let's see here. And Thomas says, Detroit's not done. I think that's what he's saying here as far as what they can accomplish in the future. Jaden Ivey's out tonight. Thompson's probable. Fontecchio probable for the Nuggets. Really, other than the long-term injuries, they don't have much going on their injury report. Denver has owned the series, though, Terrell says, so you could watch out for that. Now, granted, they only meet twice a year, but they have met already once this year, and it was 130 once this season. 134-121. Denver rocked them as a 6.5-point favorite, but that was a different Detroit club, so to speak, it looks like. Robert's on the under. Robert's on Denver, and I'm going to take the Detroit Pistons as my selection here on the show. Give me the Pistons to win and cover here tonight. Denver on that back-to-back. I've got that as kind of the key factor here this evening. It could be the equalizer that Detroit needs in this one. Obviously, the line a little bit reflected there, I think, of the, back-to-back situation, because the Pistons are indeed favored. They're hot. They're not better than the Nuggets, but the situation of the favors them maybe just a little bit. Anyway, I'll take Detroit. Okay. Next up is the matchup here between, Trailblazers at Nets tonight. And the Trailblazers are favored here on the road, -1.5, even -2 here at a few spots this morning with this game. Not a great game, certainly, with the Nets kind of struggling here big time. Portland, though, they're back to their winning ways. What a way to put it. We say that because, they lost a couple of games, recently, but they were hot before that, and then they ran into some good teams there, and then got hot again playing some mediocre clubs, Charlotte, Utah, and Washington. That's okay. I think that shows where this Portland team is. They're 33-25 against the spread overall. We know Brooklyn's pretty decent. They are decent against the spread anyway. They've covered 7 of their last 10 games, and they're 27-21 against the spread at home are the Brooklyn Nets. But usually it's when the Nets are getting more points against, better competition. We still got to put, Portland in the, the subpar category. I think that's where we're putting them. I think that's where we're putting them right now anyway. So I don't know. Could this be Portland's matchup here? They've won on the road here already on this trip against Utah and Washington. Very similar competition. I think that's fair to say. They're getting, a little bit of a break on the schedule, and that's okay. You've got to play everybody. It's a fair, balanced championship schedule. So Portland's doing a pretty good job here right now. My numbers have it actually a little bit higher than this, but still the Nets kind of get some money at home sometimes as a dog. So let's see what you have here. The widely reported steam did come in on the the widely reported steam did come in on the Brooklyn Nets, but the move might be here actually on the Blazers this morning. Also, the steam did come in on the over, as we mentioned, actually, here on the morning steam show. And that's why we're up to 220.5 here right now for sure. I don't know if that's the right move. So let's go to the chat and see what you guys have to say in this one with Portland taking on the Brooklyn Nets. I don't even know if I've got my notes ready here. Let me go to the chat. We're just talking off the cuff here a little bit. All right. I hate when I do that and I write down a bunch of notes and I don't use them. We're talking about you feel like you wasted your time a little bit, but it helps you handicap. Okay, here we go. Ziggy's on the over. Thomas doesn't like the game at all, but he still says Trailblazers and under. Keandra says take the over in this one. Blazers money line. Portland's a good team. They cover in the letdown. And yeah, I mean, it might be a letdown when you've just won 3 straight games and you're a team like Portland. Art Thompson's on the Blazers. Robert McCormick is on the over. And Nate Cerna says take Purdue. We will. We will. All right. I guess I got to make my call for this one between Portland and Brooklyn. Like I said, that widely reported steam came on the over. The move here has kind of been on the over in this one. So got a couple of trends here for sure. Let's see. Portland's won 7 of the last 9 meetings here in Brooklyn. Oh, okay. Hold on. Thomas says here, Portland is a consensus play. Thank you, Thomas. All right. Well, if Portland's a consensus play, then I'm going to pivot to the total. I'm not agreeing or disagreeing necessarily here, but look, we know that the Brooklyn Nets are the big time under team right now. I do respect that this team is coming in on the over, and maybe this will be an over, but come on. Brooklyn has still gone under in 13 of their last 15 games. It hasn't mattered the type of opponent or competition, it feels like right now. Now, they did go over in that wild game against Oklahoma City, but before that, it was a string of unders, including some against some mediocre teams like Washington and Philadelphia. So this one actually looks a little bit high to me. Maybe it will be because Portland can, but Portland's 11-17 to the under on the road. So give me the under here as my play with Portland and Brooklyn. All right. Fernando says fade that over steam. And here's the other thing, right? So with all due respect, Jermaine, he says, let's see if the steam is really the steam. Is it all? But look, here we're just saying this one's got steam to the over. Not that just because I like the under, that doesn't mean we all go under. But I know that the move's on the over, so I'm getting a nice little what I consider value because the line is better now for me than it was previously. All right. And Ziggy says the Blazers have the Cavs next. I don't know. They probably look all the same to the Blazers, I would think. All right. Terrell says it'll slow down in the fourth quarter. Thanks, everybody. Let's go to another one. Let's go to the one. Cavaliers and Celtics here in this one. Wow, we got a good one on Friday night. We already had a good one with the Nuggets and the Pistons, but really we get the game of the night here between the two top teams in the Eastern Conference. Cleveland Cavaliers come in riding a long winning streak up here against the Boston Celtics. They've lost 1 in a row. They had that winning streak snap last time out against Detroit, 117-97. Now we got to be fair here. Every time when Nate's here, we pick on Boston and we make all that. Nate makes it no matter what. He knows that team. But for me, I've got to play the Boston trend game, the wave, if you will. When to play on Boston. When to play on. This is what's supposed to make me a good handicapper. And for the most part, we've been on that all, I don't know. Those sites that say, hey, this handicapper does well on this team. Well, maybe Boston's that team. And here's why. I think we got Boston in the situation here now, finally, that, look, we're honest about it. We're against Boston and all those games. They're off the wins or whatever. Here, Boston has won 19 of their last 20 games when coming off of a loss, and they're just a minimal favorite. They've covered the spread in 8 of their last 9 games when coming in off of a loss. This is the spot for the Boston Celtics right here, right now, against the Cleveland Cavaliers tonight. Now, I don't know if that's even going to be my pick, but just to be fair, because it seems like, I know Nate's not mad when we go against Boston, but this is when it goes the other. That's the way Boston is, right? Bounce back team. That's great. That's what you want to be. That's a championship pedigree for the most part too, right? Bounce back when you're losing. All right. Did have some steam come in here a moment ago. Nevada and UNLV. Steam to the under here in the big game here in the state of Nevada, here in Las Vegas tonight at the Thomas and Mack. It was 133.5, but it's moving lower here right now in the game tonight between Nevada and UNLV. It's down to 132. Steam to the under tonight, Nevada and UNLV, just a few moments ago. All right. Boston's gone under in 5 of their last 6 games. Overall, they're 26-31 to the under as a favorite. Cleveland's a big-time over team. We know that. They're 17-9 to the over on the road. These two teams met just 24 days ago. Boston won 112-105 as a 1.5-point dog at Cleveland. Also, the meeting at Cleveland back in December, Cleveland won 115-111 as a 2-point favorite. And the first meeting of the season here in Boston, Boston won it 120-117 back in November as a 7-point favorite. Here, they're just favored by 2.5 tonight. Let's see what we have in the chat. All right. Thomas says Cleveland will have their hands full today. Celtics for Ziggy. And Thomas is going to take him, but he feels like this is a tough game. Nasty Nate says, they'll smash today. And Trevor likes the under. Ocaps says Cleveland team total under. Ocaps, thanks for joining us last night. Mikey said, look at this new vase, Ocaps. I said, Ocaps has been hanging out with me for a couple of days. And Thomas says, you've got to look at the injury report. We already saw Jaylen Brown miss that, sit out that last game. Questionable here today. Drew Holiday questionable as well. Luke Cornett is questionable. Darius Garland is probable here for the Cavs, but would like to make sure that 23 points is in the game. So he says this is when you play Boston. Kiadra says Boston first quarter. AOD does not like Boston. R. Tops is on Boston. And I think AOD is saying that the Pistons are going to smack the Celtics. Robert's on the Celtics here. And also Thomas says he likes the Cavs on the money line. And I think that might be it for you guys in this one. Cleveland's won 12 of their last 13 games coming in. They've won 8 straight right now. They're 5-0-1 against the spread in their last 6 games overall. They're 3-1 against the spread as an underdog this season. Boston, 11-17 against the spread at home. 24-30 against the spread as a favorite. But again, this feels like the spot. If you're one of those spot players, and I think I could be counted as a spot player. Whoops. All right. Think you guys got it covered here in the chat. And I'll make my play here as well. Maybe we got one more here. Oh, Thomas is waiting for my play here, I think. Okay, that's it. Give me the under here in the game between the Cavaliers and the Celtics. I think we're starting to get into the nitty-gritty here of the season. I mean, we're really just 25, 26 games, 27 games left in the season right now. These games are becoming still going to play it out here. I got the under tonight in this one. All right. I hope I gave out that the steam did come in on the over here, was 231.5 up to 233. The Thunder are taking on the Hawks here tonight. The Thunder come in a 12.5 point favorite. Wow. Against these Hawks who are struggling here a little bit. Woo. All right. The Hawks here coming in off a loss to Miami, 131-109. They did beat Miami before that to stop a losing streak. But the Hawks are 22-16 against the spread as an underdog this season. Now OKC 32-21 against the spread as a favorite. Not so great on the road. They're much better as a home favorite, really, talking about the OKC Thunder. These two teams met back in October, and it was 128-104. OKC got the win and cover in that one. And we'll see what you guys have here with the Thunder and the Hawks here. The Thunders failed to cover the spread in 4 straight when coming off of a win. The Thunder are 7 straight overs against the Hawks when favored. That's a few years worth of sample size, but nonetheless. All right. Oklahoma City comes in here 1-4 against the spread in their last 5 games overall. Atlanta is 8-3 against the spread in their last 11 games. Coming into this one, Oklahoma City's gone over in 18 of their last 23 games overall. Both these teams are pretty consistent over teams for sure. This is a really high total. I get that up here right now at 243. But man, when you look at Oklahoma City over in 13 of their last 17 games overall, Atlanta 17-10 to the over at home. I feel like maybe we should be going over in this one. Atlanta's gone over in 25 of their last 35 games at home, dating back to last season. Let's go to the chat here and see what you have in this one. Pretty big number here for an OKC team. You can't beat every team by 15 points, can you? All right, here we go. It's Thomas on Atlanta. Ziggy's on Atlanta. Thomas is on the under. Terrell says the total looks low to me. He might like it over. And he says Young is going to have a big game here tonight in this matchup. Taking a look at the injury report right now, Young is probable here in this one for the Thunder. Caruso is out. Hartenstein probable here. Gives the Thunder probable cause to keep on improving now. Get their big man in here a little bit, but it does seem like a still pretty big number to cover, man. All right, Daniels, 3+ steals. Give me the over here. I'll take the over even with this big, ugly number 243. Hey, I had Terrell tell me it's kind of low for the matchup. Then he said LOL. I don't know. Is he half kidding? They only scored 232 in that first meeting. But looking back on it, last year here against Atlanta, the game here, the last time these two teams met here was it was last January, not 2 months ago, but last January. But still, it was the last time these two teams met. They only meet once a year in each city. But it was 141 to 138. Atlanta won in that one. Now, on that day, Atlanta was a 1 point favorite. So a little bit different now. Okay, give me the over, though, in this one with the Thunder and Atlanta. Next up, the Pacers and the Heat. Let me get a few steam plays in here real quick. Mount St. Mary's and Fairfield. Steam to the over here in this one. It was 139, but now we are up to 141 with Mount St. Mary's and Fairfield. 141 and a half right now at Offshore Square Book. Steam to the over, Mount St. Mary's and Fairfield. Also, moments ago, it was Yale and Dartmouth. Steam to the over in the matchup between Yale and Dartmouth. That one's at 5 Eastern, 2 Pacific today as we get started with 2 Ivy League games. It was 153. It's up to 155 and a half here with Yale and Dartmouth. 156 and a half right now at several books. 157 at the stations here in Las Vegas. Wow. Big move there, 4-point move to the over, Yale, and Dartmouth. All right. Here we go here with the next, with some of the numbers here with the Pacers and the Heat. Let's get it going here in this one, right? With the Pacers on the road. 4.5-point favorite. Oh man, look at that. That's definitely up. Not a sudden move or anything like that, but nonetheless up higher than the openers, I think for sure here. Miami has lost 6 of their last 8 games overall. Indiana's won 4 of their last 5 coming into this one. Atlanta's also won 14 of their last, or 17 of their last 23 games overall right now. They're coming in off of a win over Toronto, 111 to 91 as an 11.5-point favorite. They got that win following a loss to Denver that ended their winning streak right now for Indiana. Miami, having their struggles here right now, and they don't play that great against the Pacers. They're actually just 2-6 against the spread at home in the last 8 meetings against the Indiana Pacers. They met back in January. Pacers won here in Miami, 128 to 115. It's a 2-point dog. Pacers also won back in November at home, covering 3.5. Although a meeting in November before that, just 2 days earlier, Miami did win. Miami's had some struggles here of late after the trade of Butler. I said, look, Atlanta, in that Atlanta game, right? Atlanta ended up losing that second game to Miami 131 to 109 in that one. So they did get the money, did the Miami Heat in that game after losing to Atlanta at home a couple days earlier. So let's go to the chat here in this one matchup between Indiana and Miami tonight. These two teams have gone over in 5 straight meetings. They've gone over in 5 of the last 6 meetings here in Miami. And Miami's gone over in 9 of their last 10 games overall at home. Miami's 16-8 to the over at home. Indiana is an over-trending team, but that is mostly as a on the at home is when they kind of trend over. Okay, here we go. Maybe some action from you guys here. Pacers. Here's Thomas on the Pacers. And hello to Irish King this morning. Also, Ziggy likes the over here in this one. Sub here talking UFC tomorrow in the chat. Check it out, everybody. Also, you'll probably find these notes here. Keep mentioning this. I keep forgetting, but this probably will appear in our UFC playbook, you can go to the post tab on YouTube to go to the link that'll take you to the Sports Money UFC playbook where our team puts all their best trends and picks and notes, get you ready for fight night. James Parham, good morning. Hello, he likes the over, but Robert likes the under here in this one. There's no doubt the trends kind of point, I would think, over here, and you got, an Atlanta team. Like I said, an Indiana team here that, like I said, is mostly an over team when they're an underdog. But let's see what you have here. Let me go to my pick as well. All right. Yeah, Swaggy. I think we did get a 250 a week or two ago. Something touched 250 there on one of the days. All right. Let me make the move here in this game. And I know that this total keeps going up, and I can't ignore it. I'm going to go over here with Indiana and Miami in this one. All right. Next up is the Raptors taking on the Bulls. And the Raptors are favored by, or no, I'm sorry, the Bulls are favored by 1.5. The total here is 234, 234.5, 235. What is it? We can leave it at 230. We can't leave it at 235.5. It's definitely down from that one there. But the Bulls are definitely favored here by 1.5 or so in this one. And I think there might be a few. That's who we got here. James Madison and Texas State is taking some steam to the under right now this morning in the game at Texas State. It was 144. We're down to 143 here right now. James Madison and Texas State steam to the under. All right, Raptors and Bulls here. We're talking NBA tonight. 5 straight meetings between these two teams in Chicago have gone under. Toronto has covered 6 of their last 7 games on the road coming into this one, but Chicago has won 6 of the last 7 meetings between these two teams overall. Toronto's been a terrific cover, 29-20 against the spread on the road this season, or as an underdog this season. They're an underdog here. They're also 15-11 against the spread on the road. Let's see what you might like here in this one with the Bulls at home here, favored. Chicago's won just 2 of their last 10 home games. They're 1-7 straight up in their last 8. But Toronto's had a few issues here also winning. Granted, they've been playing tough teams. They lost to Indiana. They lost to Boston. They lost to Miami. They lost to Cleveland. While Chicago has covered 4 straight games overall, even though they lost 3 of those games to the Clippers, Phoenix, and New York. All right, we can go to the chat and see what you guys do in this one when Toronto takes on Chicago here on Friday night. And we've got here, it's Ziggy on the Bulls. Thomas is on the Bulls and the under. And Terrell says the Bulls play to the level of their opponent. OCAP says, let's hit the consensus. We've got 1 so far in the Blazers. And James Parham here says Chicago and under. Swaggy, the Celtics are playing the Cavs and Nuggets, but Swaggy's going to be watching this one. Robert's on Toronto here. How about that? All right, let me get my play in here a little bit in this one, and then I think you felt me there a little bit. I think this series kind of points to the under. I'm going to take the under here, but I'm going to go premium on the side for sure here. And all right. Give me the under in the Raptors and the Bulls tonight. Next up, it's the Knicks taking on the Grizzlies here in this one. You got the Grizzlies favored, of course, here by 4 and 244. Man, it's a good Friday night NBA card, isn't it? The Grizzlies come in here off of that win last time out against Phoenix, that wild 151 to 148 game. They didn't cover. They were covering. They weren't. I don't know what they were doing. That game got a little wonky at the end. Memphis is struggling against the number right now, no doubt about it. But so are the Knicks. The Knicks are in a bad way here right now. All of a sudden, yeah, they've won some games. They won against Philly, didn't cover. They won against the Bulls, didn't cover. They won against Atlanta, didn't cover, and then lost their 2 big games to Boston and Cleveland. So they're beating the teams that they're supposed to beat, but not by much. And they're losing to better teams. Whether or not the Grizzlies are a better team, well, I think we could say they're better at home. Memphis has won 7 of their last 8 at home. New York's covered 5 straight years here at Memphis. 8 of the last 10 meetings between these two teams have gone over. And if you think of 2 teams that might go over, you probably would think this would be an over, right? Still a pretty big number. 244. Memphis has gone 6-2 to the over as an underdog this season. It's high, but these 2 teams have combined to go 69 and 47 to the over. And maybe after what we saw, I don't know, maybe what we saw in that crazy game against the Suns, maybe we're expecting this one to go over. Now, Memphis does have that weird streak of overs against Eastern Conference competition. I'd be more concerned, I hope Mike understand, that when on the road, I'd be more concerned about that. Yes, the team build and everything, but still, Memphis, whatever reason, doesn't necessarily get it done here against the Knicks. Let me see here. No, I think I'm ready to go to the chat here in this one. Let's see what you have here. Memphis is 24 and 13 against the spread as a favorite. The Knicks are just 2 and 6 against the spread as an underdog, and they've covered just covered just 3 of their last 11 overall. Okay, here we go. All right. Memphis and over for Thomas. Ziggy's on the under here. Oops, I don't know if that. I think that's the last. Or maybe he just wrote. He meant to put 244. I think is what he meant to put. James Farm says go under here in the first half with the Knicks and the Grizz. All right. Good plays from you guys in the chat here in this one. I'll try the over here. Robert's on the Grizzlies. Robert and I are clicking today, I'll tell you. Maybe that'll be a good sign, Robert, because you've probably been getting the best of me here a little bit. All right. Give me the I'll take the over. I'm still gonna go over this big number here with Memphis at home. Big number, man. Wow. Our tops on Memphis. Thomas says Memphis is a consensus play. How about that? Try not to give out the premiums here, Thomas. All right. And OCaps likes it too. So, look, if we're all on it, not saying I'm ever going to take it off the card. That's one's I'm going to need plays with a light hockey tonight. So, all right, OCaps is on the Blazers. OCaps is on the Grizzlies.
It's been playing.
All right. Let me plug in the devices over here a little bit, get them charged up and going. All right. Has anybody been following Sean Perry? Do you know who that is on X? This man is obsessed with this man Mickey Mace, like in a weird way, man. Hey, Sean, uh, why not pick on somebody else? Okay, we get it. The guy's a degenerate gambler. What's your point? If you're the best sports bettor in the world, take me on. All right, Sean Perry, clip it and make it go viral. I dare you. All right, here we go. Let's see here. One more here right now. A couple more actually here with the Pelicans and the Suns in this one. You got the Suns favored by 7. Wait a minute. These teams just played and the Suns were favored uh, in this matchup and they looked well, we know what happened in that one. The Suns lost 124 to 116 just last night. And now they're going to come back again, and you want to trust the Phoenix Suns. Now, to be fair, Phoenix just did this situation a couple of weeks ago. I should look this up, right? They lost to somebody, then came back and win, or was it the other way around? Nonetheless, the Suns are the worst. They're the worst spread team around. We know that. They're 20-38 against the spread, 8-19 against the spread at home, and 11-24 against the spread as a favorite. Their opponent, the New Orleans Pelicans, are just 9-20 against the spread on the road. But the Pelicans are hot. They've won 3 in a row. Yes, they played the Spurs twice, and then they played Phoenix. Now, interestingly, the Pelicans beat the Spurs, covered the spread at home. They played them again 2 nights later, beat them again at home. They're kind of in the same situation here, except they're on the road. That sometimes makes it a little bit tough. But I think the thing is, let's not get so greedy on the Phoenix Suns and think that they're going to, okay, maybe they'll win, but can they cover a number for once? I don't know if they can. Let's go to the chat here in this one with Pelicans and the Suns. Phoenix is 1-10 against the spread their last 11 games at home against sub-500 teams. These two teams have gone over in 8 of their last 10 meetings. New Orleans is 26-18 to the over as an underdog. Now, Phoenix has gone under in 18 of 28 home games, including 13 of their last 15 right now. And the widely reported steam came on the under as well. The game last night was 124 to 116. It barely snuck over the total. Let's go to the chat and see what you have here with New Orleans and Phoenix here today. Here we go. The comments are backing up. All right. We've got Markel. Yeah, you know what, Markel? I think we're going to see these totals move higher here, obviously, as we get to the end of the season. I think he's on the under here. Pelicans and over for Thomas. Markel says go to OT. Terrell says those veteran teams have trouble covering. And James Parr and Pelicans and under. Robert is on the Pelicans here. All right. I'm going to go with the under here in this one. The widely reported steam did come in on the under. I'm showing right now this total is a little bit stale for sure. So let me update that. I'd say it's 234. Some books are moving this one a little bit higher. I'll put 7.5. I already see an 8 out there right now. Wow. All right. Give me the under here with the Pelicans and the Suns on the back-to-back. Big move to the under. We already talked about it, right? It was a good 3 or 4 point move here. All right. Hey, they're underway at in Florida. I'm watching the golf action. I'm also watching a great tennis match here. A nice match going on there. Almost finished here with this one in the semis at Dubai. Right now, Felix Auger Alassim is winning. Uh, he is serving here for the match, up 5-4 in the third set. Also, golf underway in Florida after we saw the 59 yesterday from uh, Jake Knapp. We were on the air yesterday. Remember, we said he went out with 5 straight birdies. He finished with that magic number, 59 yesterday. So the scores went low. Look, our golfers weren't actually, my golfers didn't actually do that well. I do have Lowry tied for 16th. I've got Billy Ho. He escaped that near death uh, situation on the course with that crocodile yesterday and went on to finish tied for 16th after one round. If anybody saw that, I think Billy had the upper hand there with that club in his hand. Also, a couple other of our golfers hanging in there a little bit with Griersman tied for 28th, but I've gone ahead and expanded my card here a little bit. Um, for the weekend. Ricky Fowler here tied for 5th, still 22-1 heading into today's round. Going to sprinkle on Fowler here, probably just a modest sum, maybe a quarter unit or so. Uh, Brian Harmon tied for Jordan Spieth first. Also, Jordan Spieth here might get a call here, maybe for half that, tied for 11th, and also Brian Harmon in 45th place. So I'm going to add a few golfers on my sheet here and try to do something here this weekend. Johnny Vegas just had an eagle to move to 5 under. So the scores are low. And I think with this field, yeah, Jordan Spieth in there, but you can see his odds, even for a reasonable position he's in here. But I've added him, but this could be a little bit of a crapshoot. So if you want to get involved, even though Knapp has a 4-stroke lead, maybe it's giving you an opportunity to get on some of these other golfers, because I don't think this one's over by any stretch. That was a good round. That was a classic round. You always want to shoot. And his girlfriend, by the way, what a nice, lovely lady. But look, he's a good golfer, up and coming in his career. But look, I think we're going to have some volatility on this course with the scores running so low. Here we go. We're continuing. We're supposed to be doing NBA here. Timberwolves and Jazz, with the Wolves favored here on the road. -2. Is that right? -2. 226.5 is the total here with the Timberwolves on the road against the Jazz. Now, obviously, what we have here, we know the situation from last night. We saw the incident where the obvious, the technical foul for Anthony Edwards. Anthony Edwards received his 16th technical foul of the season. They have a dumb rule that will put you out of the next game, no matter who you're playing, no matter when it is, whatever. So doesn't make much sense to do this type of disciplinary action, but this is what the NBA chooses to do. Doesn't matter. You could have 14 technicals and just don't get another one, or 15. So he will miss tonight's game. And that's why you see the line here down at 2. It would have been much higher with Edwards in there. It was 4. It probably would have even been higher, especially given the fact that Utah. Now, look, Utah may be getting some of these players back tonight. Colin Sexton's questionable. Lauri Markkanen's questionable. And John Collins is questionable. Meanwhile, Gobert is questionable and Ant is out. Auger Alassim just wrapped up his win over Quentin Hallis just moments ago in the semifinals in Dubai. Coming up, Tsitsipas, $1.70 over Talon Griekspoor, coming up here in just a short while after a warm-up. All right, let's see what you got here. Timberwolves taking on the Jazz. Consider those the injury situation here. I don't think it's an appeal type of situation, or maybe you just don't, especially when you're playing the Utah Jazz. Just take your suspension right here. You're on the road. Maybe they can get it done. Minnesota's won 5 straight meetings against the Jazz. They've covered 5 straight meetings here in Utah. 4 of the last 5 meetings between the two teams have gone under. Utah's gone over in 8 of their last 10 games overall. They're coming in off of a pair of losses to Sacramento and Portland. They've covered a few numbers here of late for sure. Minnesota lost that game to the Lakers last night, 111 to 102. So, will the Jazz be healthy enough? If they're healthy, well, why wouldn't they give the Timberwolves a little bit of a run here, it feels like? Even though the series history definitely favors the Wolves, and we know the Jazz aren't very good, but they've done the job for sure when healthy, it feels like. It just seems like they had those injury woes early and all that. Problem here is Utah is so bad against this team. The Jazz have won just 1 of their last 12 meetings at home against the division rival Timberwolves. And Minnesota's won 19 of the last 23 games overall. Minnesota's lost 5 of their last 7 games overall. They're not exactly in great form coming in here. But you have to weigh the series history a little bit, even if they're missing their star, right? I don't know. Let's see what the chat says. And we've got here Ziggy's on the Jazz. And James Parham's on Utah. Kiadra's on Utah. And Thomas is on Utah. And Thomas says New Orleans is a consensus play. And so is the Utah Jazz. Wow. All right. All right. Well, if you guys are going to go to the Utah Jazz as a consensus play, I don't know if I mind it necessarily. So maybe I can pivot here to the total in this one. And I'm going to take the under. If I've got no Edwards, and this series actually is a little bit of an under series when these two teams meet. So I'll go under here in this one. Last game here. Oh, wow. Look at this. The Clippers are playing so well. They are a 4.5-point favorite here against the Lakers tonight. Now, we know that the Lakers are probably going to, we'll see. Is this going to be a night off for one or more of the Lakers' star players? You'd think so, maybe here with a line of Clippers 4.5 here, right? Now, they're not even on the injury list, and usually they are. They will be on the injury list here, at least LeBron. I'd make it sound like Anthony Davis is still on the team, but you're going to see the same thing, I think, with Luka. I think you're going to see Luka end up on the list a lot as well. So we'll see. This is one we're going to have to make the pick kind of ahead of time and kind of project here. Look, I don't want to startle anybody. The guys aren't even on the injury list, but come on. The Clippers are now. Look, I'm a Clipper. Hey, I'm all about these Clippers. But is this really going to be the night where they're a favorite here? Norman Powell questionable, Hachimura questionable, and man, Hachimura has been doing a nice job, hasn't he? That was a good pickup for the Lakers this season. All right. So the Lakers have gone just 2-14 in their last 12 games against the Clippers. I say at home because, we know the Clippers have their own gym now, but when they used to meet and the Lakers were the designated home team, you have to be aware of that, they still play in the same building, and the Clippers were also a winner of some of the games in the series. All right. Clippers are just 2-9 against the spread in their last 11 games overall. Clippers have gone over in 9 of their last 12. The Lakers are the hot team here. They've gone 9-3 against the spread in their last 12 games. I'm worried. I'm concerned that maybe there'll be some personnel movement in the game, but man, the Clippers have been kind of a runaway pick here for the Sharps today. And I don't know if I can, I still want to get behind these Lakers as a dog, but I don't trust the lineup. I'm not sure what's going to happen. Let's go to the chat. See if you agree with me. Under for Kiadra. Lakers and under for Thomas. Robert says they're both questionable. Maybe he's reacting to me because I don't show them as questionable at this point. But it feels like they're going to be. Lakers for Ziggy here. Oh, he's saying, you think both will sit? Yeah, no, I hope not. But if that's the case, why is this line? I mean, what am I missing here? Yes, the Lakers played last night. Yes, the Clippers are showing their stuff right now. There's no doubt. Now, the Clippers, remember, they lost 3 in a row before they won the last game there against the Bulls. The Clippers aren't covering anything. The Lakers have won 4 straight and covered 3 of their last 4. Lakers are a number 5 consensus here, even with look, Thomas said, I put the Lakers on the consensus. Who was on the Lakers? Ziggy. Maybe Kiadra was, and maybe Thomas is. So consensus here on the Lakers in this one. Okay. If you guys are going Lakers, I'll just roll with the consensus. I want to play this total today as a premium. So I'm going to go with the consensus and take the chat's advice here. I don't want to say it like that. Because Kiana says Clippers are terrible on the road, but they are, I don't know. It's not a very far trip. Not that Lakers are still the home team. I get that. Clippers are struggling against the number, man. And I'm a Clippers backer. We've been on them quite a bit. Feels like a bad number. I don't know. All right. I'll go with the consensus here. I'll go with the Lakers. My little machine here, whatever the computer's called, is telling me Clippers, go with Clippers. Every sharp in the world is on the Clippers, and the sharps are usually right in this situation. But I'm going to go with the chat, and I kind of agree with the chat. Because like I said, I think the Clippers, they're definitely not covering, and why are they favored here? So, okay. I'll be just worried about the personnel. Okay, here we go. That's it for the NBA. There are 3 games on the ice tonight, and we're going to start it off here with the Maple Leafs on the road, taking on the Rangers here in this one. Now, the Rangers are an underdog. They're pick'em. Or no.
Steam play.
All right, let me get one Steam play out here real quick before we do the hockey Manhattan and Canisius. Steam to the under here with Manhattan and Canisius. We already said Manhattan got steamed from 5.5 to 6.5. But right now, the steam's coming in on the under in the game between Manhattan and Canisius. It was 151.5, but right now we're moving lower here at this point. Current line right now is 149.5 here at Bovada. Steam to the under, Manhattan and Canisius. All right. Here we go right now. Next up. Well, we've already got let me get over the hockey, you guys. Sorry about that. I just saw I think the goalies came out in this one. Let me see what's going on of our hockey game here. We got Igor is in for the Rangers today. Igor has been announced as the goalie for the Rangers here. Was some talk that maybe it would not be Wohl in goal here tonight for the Maple Leafs that maybe we could see tonight. Stolarz in goal for the Maple Leafs. Let's see what some of the other sites say. Yeah, could be Stolarz in there. Igor is 20-20 with a 2.93 goals against and a 90.5% save percentage here. But boy, kind of wish I knew this one anyway, a little bit about the goalies. I'm a situational handicapper. Been some comments lately that you guys are teasing me. Ramon, how do you get on there and make so many picks on the morning steam when the games are 10 hours away? But hey, this is the life we've chosen, and we're trying to speculate what's going to happen later on and take advantage of the lines right now. I don't know if it's an advantage necessarily here with the Maple Leafs favored here, and if you took them without knowing Wool or Stolarz, although Stolarz's numbers are just fine, right? 12-5 with a 2.22 goals against average coming into this one. So, all right, I'll make the call. I'll go to the chat, but I like the Toronto Maple Leafs in this game today against the New York Rangers. I'm taking the Leafs on the road tonight against the Rangers. The Rangers are costing you more than a quarter of a unit at home so far this season. The Maple Leafs are actually a bit of a break-even proposition. All right, Kiadra says, gotta take the Rangers here despite some of the injury factor here in this game for the Rangers. You've got Miller, of course, still questionable. Kreider, he's questionable. Fox is out of this game. For the Leafs, Pacioretty, he's questionable here. Tanev is doubtful. All right. Robert likes the Leafs here. I'll take the Leafs in this one. Ziggy liked under. Now we're getting ready for that next match here in Dubai. Should be a good one. All right. Next up, the Kings are on the road here against the Stars. Good game tonight with the Stars favored at home here in this one. $1.40 here right now. And the total 5.5. Maybe even shaded to the under at -115 here. Dallas has won 3 of their last 4, but they're coming in off of a loss here to Columbus last time out. They've had some rest here coming in. The Kings lost to Vancouver the other night to snap a 2-game winning streak coming into this one. But for these two teams, look, we know to a certain extent how this matchup goes. I mean, talk about consistency between these two teams. So interesting that right now when Dallas and LA meet, Dallas has won 12 of the last 17 meetings between the two teams, including 5 straight at home and 6 of their last 7 games here at home against these Kings. Now the Kings have gone Dallas has gone over in 9 of their last 11 games, interestingly enough. The steam came in on the over here. It's still 5.5 for the most part, but Dallas has been going over here of late. In fact, right now, 9 of 11. 9 of 11 for Dallas. That's really brought them brought their over-under record into, they still go under. They still go under a bunch. The Kings are 10-18 to the under on the road. Dallas is 9-18 to the under at home, despite this massive run. A lot of it did come on that road trip that Dallas was on, right? They went through a string of overs on the road. They've just finished a long 3-game road trip. I say long. They were one of those teams that were on the road when the first half ended as well. So let's see here what you have between Dallas and the Kings tonight. Feels like you almost automatically think under, but the teams just played back on February 7th. It was 5-4 at LA. teams have not met in Dallas this year. The Kings won both games at home. All right, here we go. Keadra's going under. Robert's on the Stars here in this one. I'm going to take the Dallas Stars here as a favorite. Mark this one down. Right now, like I said, the price mostly $1.35, I'd say right now. College Station likes the Stars on the puck line tonight. Stars on the puck line, 22 and 26 is a puck line favorite. That's not awful. Kings 15 and 18 is a puck line dog. Keadra likes Dallas with me here. All right, got that one in. Let's go to the last one, another good game. And what happened to the Wild last night? What's happening to the Wild overall? Now, granted, they did not start Gus last night in goal, and Utah smacked Minnesota around. Man, I just figured, the Sharps came in, drove that price up, take the dog. But no, the Utah crushed them yesterday. Colorado's 29 and 19 is a favorite. They're 18 and 30 is a puck line favorite. Minnesota's 21 and 11 on the puck line on the road. They're not always a dog. They're only 14 and 13 as a puck line dog. But still, again, they're getting a pretty good price here against Minnesota, against the Colorado, no matter how you look at it. But Colorado here, they've won 12 of their last 17 meetings against Minnesota. They've won 5 of the last 6 against Minnesota. Here at home, they've won 6 of the last 8 meetings between the two teams overall. Colorado's 17 and 11 to the over at home this season. The last meeting was 3-1. Minnesota won here at Colorado back on January the 20th. And we know Colorado or Minnesota is the best road team in the league for making money. That's what made yesterday's game all that much more stunning, really. So I'm going to try the Wild here, of course, on the puck line. Give me the Wild. I'm coming back with them. I don't think they're terrible all of a sudden. It bothers me that it's a back-to-back, but they threw in such a clunker last night. Give me the Minnesota Wild plus a goal and a half here at Pick'em at a Pick'em price, it feels like. I'll go to the chat. Sorry I didn't go to the chat first. Maybe you guys have Colorado, but here is a couple plays anyway. Oh, wow. Thomas says Dallas was a consensus play. If I'd have known that, I might have went with the total. But that's all right. Not a lot of games. I might need a premium or two. So we got a big card tonight. College Station will try the Wild again with me. And thank you to Gravy. Nice to see you this morning, Gravy. I always wonder, we've seen Gravy a little bit, but what is it with Gravy? Does Gravy like gravy? Does Gravy just love gravy? Like love gravy so much like the old, what was it, the Saturday Night Live skit where they drank all the gravy with everything? They were like gobbling gravy and they'd pour it all over themselves. All right. Let's see what else we got here. Over for College Station. Robert likes the under, though. Good morning to Kelly. Kelly says in this game morning, the team total been under in the losers team total's been under. She's saying the losers team total's been under. So look at it this way. I don't want to put words into Kelly's mouth. The Colorado Avalanche are 225 favorite. Probably should assume they're going to win this game. Now, I know we just took Minnesota. Maybe it'll be 2-1. Maybe it'll be 3-2. But she says here, look, the loser in this series has scored 1-1, 2-2, 1-2, 2-3-2. All right. Flea is here today. There's some steam coming in right now in a college basketball game. Let's get ready for college basketball right now. Iona and Niagara. Steam to the under. Here it was 138. We're down to 137. Steam to the under. Iona and Niagara. Niagara can see some unders for sure. It feels like in some of these home conference games, just by history here a little bit, it feels like. All right. A couple more comments here in hockey, and we'll get to college basketball. Let's go to the college ranks tonight. And look, we've already covered some of these games with the Steam, maybe even made a comment. We made a comment about this one. You can vote in the poll, in the post tab here on YouTube of this game. Joe T asked me last night, what is the most interesting game on the sports betting card, on the college betting card? Oh, I got one more here real quick. Georgia State and Georgia Southern. Steam to the over here was 157 up to 158 right now. Steam to the over, Georgia State and Georgia Southern. I told Joe it was this game. I said because the top 4 teams make the Ivy League tournament. Brown and Harvard are tied for 5th. They're both 5 and 6. Cornell and Princeton are tied for 3rd. They're both 6 and 5. Now Cornell plays Princeton. Cornell plays Penn. Penn is next to last. Princeton plays Columbia. Columbia is terrible, even though that's a rivalry game, obviously, but it is at Columbia. Maybe they'll, I don't know. I mean, Columbia's 1-10, but that's their Super Bowl now. Anyway, but they're both playing easier teams. Now, the winner of Brown and Harvard is going to still be alive for, to sneak up. The loser, it feels like it's going to be difficult of this game. So the steam came in here on Brown to move them to a favorite. Brown is favored by 1.5. The total is 140 and a half. It may even be moving up a little bit here in this one between Brown and Harvard. And you wonder, as I contemplate why I never made it to the Ivy League. And now here I am on YouTube schlepping sports picks. All right, here we go. Let's take a look at some of the numbers here. Harvard has won 11 of the last 15 games between these two teams, and 11 of the 15 years Harvard has won at home against Brown. They've also won 18 of the last 25 meetings overall, except Brown's won 4 of the last 5 meetings here at Harvard. And Brown's covered 5 of the last 6 trips here into Harvard. Harvard has gone over in 5 of their 8 home games so far this season. These two teams met on January 18th, and Harvard won 80-67. 147 points there. That would have been over this number. I don't know if it's going that direction today. Let's go to the chat. As I'm going under here, I kind of want to go premium, but I want to hit this one, our special game, and we have the poll going on. So you guys can check that out over in the post tab and vote in that one between Brown and Harvard. All right. Let's go to the chat here. I'm on the under for sure in this one. All right, here we go. Kelly's giving us a pick from our friend Guns. There we go. All right. Princeton owns their series against Columbia, that rivalry series, no doubt. But like I said, I'm just saying it like the thing is, it is Princeton and Columbia. That's the rivalry. I don't know if you guys didn't know that a little bit. Brown. What can Brown do for us? Kelly's getting strategic over there in the Ivy League. Dartmouth here for Kiadra in their matchup against Yale. I won't be previewing that, so thank you, Kiadra, for that. Good morning to Joe. He set up that poll for us. Kelly likes Dartmouth as well in that other game. Robert Dixon is here. Hi, Robert. How you been? He likes Harvard in this one. All right. And Robert likes the under with me. I like the under for sure. I like the under a lot, actually. Would have been premium. I'm just not sure of the side here. The side could still make the premium, but I like the under so much, and I'm so convinced of that is my best play. So, oh wow, finally the cryptos have decided to go up here today. Maybe we will have an okay day after all. Next up in my previews is this one between Marist and Sacred Heart. I'm trying to pick a good sampling here on Friday with some of these games, and just have to mention this one here as we look at the MAAC standings. Now, the good teams are playing weaker teams, so I don't really have a top matchup, but you do have Marist, maybe the best team, probably the best team in the conference, of course. They're 20-5, 13-3, tied for first with Quinnipiac, though, and just a game and a half ahead of Merrimack right now in the standings currently. Of course, Marist is, they got Pasquarelli, but they're, good, consistent team, really strong record. They're, they're a threat to win 2 games maybe in the tournament if they get a good draw and a decent opponent that they can match up well against here, mostly because of their decent defense at this level anyway. They do have some deficiencies offensively. It might not affect them here necessarily against Sacred Heart today, but let's see if you guys like this. I just picked this one because of the complex standings right now. They're in the MAAC. For Marist, they've won 8 of their last 9 games on the road. Coming into this one, they've gone 5-2 in their last 7 games against the spread on the road. Also, Marist has comes in with a 4-game winning streak right now. Sacred Heart's lost 3 of the last 4 games. Coming in here, Marist is 5-2 against the. Let's see what the line is. Is it still? Yeah, Sacred Heart is the favorite here for sure. Probably by 1, maybe even 1.5 now. And the total has dipped here probably to 143.5. It feels like right now. The widely reported steam did come in on Sacred Heart. It also came in on the under here in this game. So let's see what you guys might do in this one with Sacred Heart hosting Marist. Marist comes in 7-5 to the over on the road. And I'm going to go with the over in this one. I did mention a little bit of under trends, but I think in this match of Marist, kind of in, give Sacred Heart. I mean, they're moving, the money's coming in on Sacred Heart. Sacred Heart is just 6-5 straight up at home. Marist is 9-5 straight up on the road. All right. I think that's going to. Oh, let me go to the chat here. In this one with Kiadra on Marist. Thomas is on Sacred Heart. And Kelly says, watch. And what I got here, I think one thing that I'm having this rough week, we're starting to see these totals move higher, but I don't know if the scores are keeping up. And maybe I've been faked out a little bit there. I need to stay off some of these big overs that I've been going over on. It still stays under. Super True likes Penn against Cornell. Thanks, Super True. Yeah, I'm not previewing that one, so I appreciate you putting a pick in here in that game against Cornell today. Thanks, Super True. All right, let's keep it moving right now with my games. I got Davidson taking on VCU. I mentioned yesterday to the guys, I said, who's better? Gonzaga, St. Mary's, VCU, or UC San Diego? I think those are 4 interesting teams. Now, VCU is 23-5. Are they being overlooked here at this point, given their status overall and their standing currently in the Atlantic 10? They're tied with George Mason, 13-2 atop the standings. This is the only game in the A10 tonight, but a big game nonetheless for VCU. They're a big favorite. They're on a winning streak and all that, but just want to mention this one. They're in first place. They need to win. They're a big favorite, so should be no problem. Davidson, however, is 5-0 against the spread in their last 5 games on the road. Meanwhile, VCU's 5-0 against the spread in their last 5 games at home. 8 of the last 10 meetings between these two teams have gone under coming into this one. So let's see what you have here with this. James Madison just got steamed here a couple of minutes ago in that matchup against Texas State. Didn't make my preview, but we saw the steam already come in on the under there at 144 down to 143, and now James Madison was a pick'em. Well, they were in a 1-point dog. They're going to be a 1-point favorite here. James Madison just took the steam here moments ago. All right. Davidson and VCU. So still Davidson, it feels like, right? Here's VCU and over. Super True says VCU crushes here right now. How about that? Nobody, and Davidson not getting much respect despite this, pretty good road success is what I would say. So, all right, I'm going to take Davidson here. Plus these big points in the matchup against VCU. Probably got a premium, though, if you know what I mean, on the total today. Here we go. Abel went with the over in this one. Thank you. And now next up, UCLA and Purdue here with Purdue at home, favored by 5.5. And the total in this one currently at 140. Purdue coming in here, we saw, wow, think about what we saw last night. Now, I know that doesn't affect the Big Ten standings here with this game necessarily, Purdue 11-6, but man, Michigan got out of there. We didn't even mention that buzzer beater last night by the Wolverines. Great, exciting finish there yesterday. We were on the air having some fun with Sub in that one. All right, Purdue coming in here, like I said, as a favorite. This is a big Fox game here. Purdue's lost 4 straight right now in this one, but look, UCLA is getting some great support. I think people are fine to talk about UCLA. They've done a great job here, especially of late. And they're 16-11 against the spread. They've had some nice wins against Ohio State. They won at Indiana. I know we're making fun, but Indiana's looked okay of late. They drubbed Penn State at home. But they lost to Minnesota. They've lost to Illinois. And I think, for me, I still have a problem with these Pac-12 teams, even the Bruins, going on the road here, especially against a Purdue team hungry for a win right now. These two teams have identical records in conference play at 11-6 coming into this one. Purdue 12-9 against the spread as a favorite, 13-8 to the over as a favorite. Purdue 10-4 to the over at home coming into this one. We'll get your picks here right now in the matchup between UCLA and Purdue. UCLA is just 4-8 straight up their last 12 road games. Purdue's won 17 of their last 20 games at home. Purdue's gone over in 5 straight home games. UCLA's gone over in 9 of their last 12 on the road. What do you have here when UCLA takes on Penn State? Purdue, on Fox tonight. Let's go to the chat and see what you have here in this one. It's going to be UCLA for Kiadra. And Abel's going over. And Thomas likes Purdue. Super True likes Purdue. I like Purdue. I'm taking Purdue here to cover this one against UCLA. Nolly's here. He's got ULL and USA to go under. Why wouldn't Nolly have the under in this one? After all, you look at, if any game, now I don't want to say, look, Nolly's done his handicap. I'm just putting a broad brush on it. But if I had to look at this game and I had to pick 2 teams to go under today, it might be this one, right? These 2 teams are combined 21 and 37 to the under this season. Although, to be fair, I think it is safe to say that USA mostly goes under when they're a dog. And ULL mostly goes under at home, but these two teams have combined for a lot of unders this year. Noli says go under ULL and USA under the 134.5. Thanks, Noli. Appreciate that. Noli visited us yesterday and the day before, so thank you, Noli. All right. Terrell says UCLA will get overwhelmed going to Boiler Up. All right, couple more here. I decided to look at App State and Marshall tonight. These two teams are kind of mired down in the standings here a little bit, but still think it was worth taking a look at here in this one with App State and Marshall. Taking a look at the conference standings. Let me get the
System playing.
conference standings going here. Like I said, these two teams are kind of mired in the middle a little bit right now, and not necessarily, how should we say, in the thick of things right now. So more of an intrigue because of the matchup itself. It feels like. Remember, the Sun Belt has had a crazy season here with the standings. Appalachian State is 10-7 in the standings. Marshall is 11-6. James Madison leads 13-4. They're playing Texas State. We mentioned it, but look, Texas State is kind of 8-9. I'm just trying to pick the best game right now in the Sun Belt. Madison leads by 1 game over Arkansas State and Troy. Arkansas State plays Monroe. Troy plays Southern Miss. So just pick this one out today. It's far from over in the Sun Belt right now, and it's going to be a good conference tournament as well. Marshall's a 3.5-point favorite, total 135.5. Marshall's won 3 straight wins here over ODU, App State, and they pushed against ODU. So 3-0 last 3 with a 2-0-1 spread record coming in. App State has failed to cover the spread in 4 straight games overall coming into this one. Marshall's won 12 of their last 14 games at home. 5 straight meetings between these two teams have gone under. App State's gone under in 5 straight games on the road. App State's 9-17 to the under overall this season. So let's see here, App State and Marshall. Maybe a caught you off guard here, but just want to pick one from the Sun Belt here anyway. And I'm going to the chat, see what you have here with App State and Marshall. With, let's see what we got here. Kiadra likes the under. Robert likes the under as well. Robert's going to a Fish concert here. He's a Fish. What are those folks called that go to all the Fish concerts? Fish heads? Okay. So a lot of support there for the under. I know that the Sharps are going to be kind of on the over here. And Noli's got another one there. He likes the ODU Coastal game to go under. That widely reported team came in on the under in that one. All right, give me Marshall. I'm going to take Marshall here in this one against App State. Marshall is 10-5 against the spread as a favorite this year, and App State definitely having some trouble covering some numbers here right now with those 4 consecutive failures. All right. Couple more here. The show will be over. Iowa and Northwestern in this one from the Big Ten. We've got a couple of Big Ten games worth looking at here. The steam came in on Iowa, down from 5 now to 4 for sure in this one. There's still some 4.5s out there. I could leave that up there. Total 150. total's definitely gone down at least a half a point, if not a full point here, to 151, maybe 150 and a half in this one with Iowa and Northwestern. This one, again, not factoring at the top of the Big Ten standings, but on a light card tonight. Certainly a decent game here. This is your game on FS1. In this one, taking a look at some of the numbers here for these two teams, you have Iowa has won 11 of the last 12 meetings here coming in against Northwestern, but we'll see here in this one. Iowa loves to rack up those. Oh, I got to mention this real quick. Steam is coming in. Nola, you there? Steam is coming in right now on the under with the matchup Purdue and UCLA. It was 140, but here comes the steam. It's down to 138 right now. This is actionable betting information. This is why I sit here. 138 and a half right now. This game is on the move. UCLA and Purdue to the under. I ain't making it up. All right, but that preview's over. So we got Iowa here coming in. They're absolutely dreadful against the spread, 2-10. Against the spread as a dog coming into this matchup, just 1-9 against the spread overall. In their last 10 games, they've failed to cover in 4 straight. They're off a loss to Illinois on the road by 20. They also lost it. They won against Washington at home. Did not cover as a 6.5 point favorite. They did win by 6. Northwestern's won and covered 2 straight. Over Minnesota and at Ohio State. Remember, in that embarrassing 70-49 win, embarrassing for the Buckeyes. It's Northwestern playing maybe some of their best ball here right now. You think Northwestern 8-2 to the over their last 10 games. They're 11-5 to the over at home. Iowa goes over every game, you'd think, but not lately. Some of these struggles have made it so that Iowa's been an under team here of late. They went under against Illinois. They went under against Oregon and under against Rutgers. They've gone under in 7 of their last 10. But Northwestern has gone over in 8 of their last 9 games at home, and 4 of the last 5 meetings between these two teams have gone over. I got to take here the Wildcats. Give me Northwestern tonight. Iowa, something might be broken here, and if they get into some kind of weird shootout, this one's going to end up probably like the last one when they met back in December. It was 80-79. Iowa won at home as a 5-point favorite. Give me the Northwestern Wildcats. It was tough to, lay the points here a little bit, but Northwestern, got to give them a little bit of credit for those wins here of late. Just wish it wasn't that high. I would have, maybe gone premium. I didn't think it'd be that high, but look, it's a discount here. The steam is on Iowa. All right. Oh, they're going to be in Wrigley Field? No, Robert. Oh, probably at United Center, right? Or is it a smaller venue? It could always be a smaller venue with not really, but all right. Northwestern money line for Thomas. Robert's on Northwestern. Good morning to Textiles. Northwestern money line for Kiadra. Thank you to Abel for your plays here. And Terrell says, Iowa gets it. Abel's on Northwestern. Okay, that's going to do it for that one. Speaking of Chicago or Evanston, Illinois, anyway. When I couldn't get accepted into Northwestern, I just said, I'm not going to go to college. What a sad tale. Now look at me here on YouTube schlepping picks. I just wanted to go to Northwestern or Syracuse, and they wouldn't let me in. All right, we got a great one in the MAC. Got to look at them all here. And, we're going to look at this one. I mean, come on. This is a great matchup tonight in the MAC. Yes, this is the worst MAC conference in a long, long time. But this is the big game of the season in the MAC. Now, look, the season is probably going to be Akron. They're 14-1. Kent comes in 12, or I'm sorry, Kent comes in 9-6. So I think Akron's going to, get it here. Right now, Akron has a 2-game lead over Miami of Ohio. Miami of Ohio plays a tough game at Ohio on Saturday. So this is a big game still for Akron at home, favored over Kent. Akron comes in a 3.5-point favorite. The total 157. Oh, gosh. 157. This thing has gone way up. The widely reported steam did come in on the over here in this one. And maybe these are the ones that I'm messing up on. Maybe this is what is bothering me right now with Ramon not doing a good job on his college basketball. Because this one looks like an over to me here a little bit. Now, funny, the series goes under between these two teams, so maybe I should know better. But come on. The way that we're seeing right now with this, with this Akron team, they're kind of going over here quite a bit. Now, Kent is 2-10 to the under on the road. So maybe there is something to that. But when I think of this, I think over immediately. I'm thinking over. The first meeting between the two teams was 85-71. That was 156. That was back on January 31st. Akron won at Kent as a 3.5-point dog in that game. I want to go over in this matchup. Let's go to the chat and see what you have, if any, if anything. Okay, here we go. We've got Kent for Kiadra. Thomas is on Akron. He's our Ohio correspondent. Abel's on the under here. I should know better. And Kiadra says maybe, just maybe, return the favor here. Kent, maybe return the favor on Akron here. Robert likes Akron in this one. He says late or, I think, 3.5 minus 118. I see it. All right. So in this, I'm going to take the over as my free play. I'm not going to do as a premium. I'm getting burned. This one, my computer's saying over. The Sharps are on the over. It feels like for sure. I mean, this thing's gone from 154 to 157. It feels like. So I'll take the over. I'm going to trust it and not getting the best of this one. All right, I got one more here. The show's over. Nevada taking on UNLV in the battle for, well, no, I guess that's a football game when they play for the Fremont. The Nevada and UNLV play football for the Fremont Cannon. Basketball, however, great matchup here with Nevada, favored by 2.5 now, should be noted. 132.5. It's gone down on that widely reported steam that we talked about. So down to 132.5 here in this one, and Nevada favored. Now, Nevada's won 11 of the last 14 meetings between these two teams. 5 of the last 6 of the last 8 meetings between these two teams have gone under. UNLV's gone under in 5 straight games at home. Coming in, UNLV's 4-12 to the under at home this season. Nevada's 10-13 to the under as a favorite. Nevada is 13-10 to the against the spread as a favorite, although just 3-6 against the spread on the road. What are you going to do here in this one with Nevada and UNLV? Take a look at the Mountain West standings right now. Certainly a key game here for Nevada. Right now, they are 8-9. Meanwhile, for UNLV, they are 9-8. But both teams, that's right in the middle of the pack. So you're playing for that little bit of a better seed. Only game in the Mountain West tonight, but it is the rivalry game. So I wanted to look at it. Anyway, the Mountain West standings, like I said, New Mexico 14-3, Utah State 14-4. All these teams play Saturday. Colorado State also 13-4. All right, here we go. We'll get your plays here on this one with Nevada and UNLV here. I'm taking the Nevada Wolfpack on the road to win and cover. Nevada won the first meeting 71-65. They covered by a point at home in this one. When they met last year here at UNLV, almost a year to the day, well, a week later, 10 days later, 376 days ago. It was 69-66. Nevada won here as a 1.5 point dog. Go to the chat, see what you have, and then the show will be over. Abel's on the Rebels. James Parham's over. Thomas is on UNLV. Kiadra likes Nevada. Abel's on the under. Lots of opinions on this one. Robert's on the under. Thank you for Terrell, your plays here. He says Columbia, right? So here's the thing. Terrell says take Princeton tonight. Columbia's senior night's on Saturday. Yeah, but the only thing that I said, Terrell, was that still, even though it's a mismatch, this is a rivalry game for Columbia. That's all I was saying. Okay. All right, that's it for the show. Thank you, everybody. Let's go to the drawing tonight and take a look at what you got to get our drawing together here for our show and see what we got. Oops, let me fix it here. Make sure I get all the drawings together here. Oh, let me see if I get it right. I might have screwed this up here a little bit. Am I on the air here? Feel like I'm. Okay. I might. You know what? You guys are going to be mad if I can't get this. Oh, no, we got it. We're in there. We're in there for the drawing. Okay, everyone, you get my best plays today over at winnable.com/Ramon. Get plays from me every day. Please consider supporting me here on the channel. Told the guys last night, said the reason why I need, people to buy these plays is because now I got to have Apple TV, so I can watch the MLS, so I can watch my San Diego FC team. 1-0. San Diego FC won their debut in Major League Soccer. Looking terrific against LA. How about it? Won their first ever game as a franchise in the stadium that the Chargers played in for 3 years. That was awesome.
System play.
All right, get my best plays for today over at winnable.com. Hopefully, I'm going to win at college basketball. And we've got also NBA, and I'll have a play in NHL for sure. Also, if you get that 24-hour pass, you will get my UFC in there as well. So I'll have my UFC picks for Saturday up there late tonight, late Friday is when I do my UFC picks. So check me out over at winnable.com. Use the promo code STEAM to save 20%. Appreciate you guys very much. And we're going to do the drawing here right now and see who wins. Got 52 of you in here today. Here come all the plays. Look at this. We got a 6-teamer here. Memphis Grizzlies money, Blazers money, Pelicans under, Jazz spread, Lakers spread, and Dallas Stars. Thanks, Thomas. All right, here we go. The drawing is underway. We're mixing them up here. Oh, my gosh. Who's going to win it? It's going to be Robert McCormick. So well-deserved. Robert, he doesn't need it, but if he hits this 6-teamer, I'd be happy to send him a great subscription, a great prize here today. Of course, come on. 6-teamer here today. Let's go. Robert, we could get a big payday if you like, share, and subscribe over at of this video. Okay, thanks a lot, everybody. That's going to do it for our show. Join me tomorrow, 9 a.m. Eastern, 6 Pacific, for more Morning Steam. Mikey Money's with you today at 6 p.m. Eastern, 3 Pacific. He'll get you ready for the primetime action and get you the plays from pre-gaming. Also, don't forget our videos. We got the UFC previews up with me and VB and also the boys from First Strike. And don't forget our NRL preview. Wow, are we the only channel with an NRL preview? I don't care. I'm going to be talking about NRL tomorrow on the show. If Dan and his analyst did a preview for the games, we're going to at least tell you about the games tomorrow. Let them handle the preview. We'll show the line here, tell you when you can watch the game tomorrow. The games here from Vegas in National Rugby League. What's happening here is, if you want to check this out, is that the National Rugby League, the best rugby league in the world in Australia, is going to be opening their season in Las Vegas, because that's what they do, baby. They did it last year. They're doing it this year, and the games are on Saturday. We already have the previews for these two games up in the videos tab here on the Sports Money Network. So check that out, would you? And thank you to Dan. All right, that's going to do it for the show. We'll be back here tomorrow. Appreciate everybody for the Sports Money Network. I'm Ramon Scott. So long.
War going on, the books can't escape from the team. Call the morning steam, it's time to break one for cover. That's gonna cover, that's gonna cash. Then we make the 100-yard dash to the window. I don't know what you thought. It's Ramon Scott running so hot. Sports make money and we make money with sports money every single day. NFL, NHL, NCAA. Stay away from the juice, we might play a parlay. It's the morning steam. What? Ramon Scott, sports money. What? Wake your ass up and let's get to the money. Get to the money.